Yeah, this over the weekend, Twitter went crazy about the arrest of 123 Northerners for illegal mass movements from the north to Lagos State, and the arrest was apparently coordinated by the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tuji Bello of Lagos State, in concert with with policemen. And I understand why this could have been quite divisive for many Nigerians, because everyone has freedom of movement to whatever part of Nigeria as long as you're a Nigerian. But I also understand the apprehension of actually stopping people to ask questions when they do unusual things. Normally, that's the job of a police officer. You don't have to have committed a crime before a policeman stops you to ask you questions. They can stop you on suspicion of a crime or on suspicion of unusual activity in the in a bid to protect lives and properties of other Nigerians. That said, when 123 people are mass moving on 48 motorcycle, that's some kind of purpose. That's some kind of common purpose. Yeah, it could just be mere traveling or pilgrimage if you like, or it could be that they relocating. It could be anything. But I don't think it's unusual to actually stop people when this happens to ask questions, especially given the current climate or the current tension in the country regarding insecurity. And let's have a run of some of them. We've got kidnapping, we've got banditry, we've got the uh, cattle herders and farmers clash in the middle belt. We have this. We're already experiencing the same thing in the south. We're experiencing it in Ondo State, in Osun State, and people are complaining. So, given this incident, I know it has an undertone of ethnic bias and the rest of it, but I don't think anything wrong has been done until we see what next the Lagos State government or the Nigerian police uh, do about this. Because stopping people to ask questions is not out of place if you believe that it could be in furtherance of certain antisocial objectives. If, as they've been invited, you ask, if they are asked the purpose of their movement and they answer the question and it's just for changing economic fortune, which I believe it's might be one of the objectives, or I hope it's one of the objectives, then there's no problem to move from Jigawa State or the northern states to Lagos State in for a better life. I don't think it's a crime. I don't believe it should be a crime. I think it should be encouraged. Nigerians are doing it outside the country, so I don't see why that should even be a problem or an issue in Nigeria at all. But I also do not see why people can't stop them to ask them questions. That okay, what are you guys doing? Given what's happening, I think people that are against this are might be unnecessarily sensitive in a way. I think the sensitivity goes both ways actually. It might be unnecessarily sensitive, yeah, because sometimes that could be a slippery slope that if you're not careful, you could be starting something that has a very lasting and damaging effect to the fabrics of Nigeria as as a nation. But also it could be one of the things, the extra caution we should be taking to save lives and properties of Nigerians if you know that the people coming in, you have no reason to worry about them because you know their purpose and you know what they're doing. Then there's no reason for any suspicion in that line. So if they're just mere bike riders who are just trying to be bike riders in Lagos State, then that's fine, all well and good. But you still need to find out. Because if you don't find out, then you're actually leaving room for people to start raising suspicion in future. God forbid things start happening in Lagos, like we've seen in states like Osun State, Ondo State, and many of the northern states. Then people start saying that, well, you let these people into the country, into the state without actually asking them questions. Whereas these people might not actually be the ones doing anything. So it is quite important, and I think it's laudable that we're taking proactive measures. And when you're taking proactive measures, sometimes you probably will step on toes of some people. That's why all our fundamental human rights are not absolute. That's why a state can impose curfew regardless of where you want to go to sometimes. So it's all in a bid to protect lives and property of Nigerians. And I believe, and I want to believe, that this was done in good faith, and it shall be encouraged and lauded. If these people, I think I read it in the response of, I don't know if it's the commissioner or the spokesperson of the Lagos State government, that once they find out that these people do not have any ulterior motive other than for improved economic condition or standard of living, then they'll be released, which I believe they will be. You can't prosecute them for mass moving. So, but I think the issue should not be overflogged, and such proactive approach should actually be encouraged in our society. We need to be our own security. We should be our own first line of security and defense. You see something unusual in your neighborhood, you need to tell the police. This does not have to be an ethnic bias thing. I could see that the Jigawa state government has already commented on it and things like that, and sometimes it just degenerated to another level. But I don't think that's the issue here. If we're talking of one of the states in Nigeria that is actually cross-ethnic, it's Lagos State. We know of other states. In Lagos State, you've got Igbo people being members of the House of Assembly, people of other ethnic group being commissioners in the state, and the likes. So, which are not, I might add, allowed in the states. In some of the states where these people have come from. So I think when we take steps like this, we should, when states or government takes decisions like this, it might be unpopular, but I think it should be encouraged, and they should be given the latitude to see how far they take it. So that's my take on that one.